ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। केनोपनिषद खंड 2 मंत्र 1। यदि मन्यसे सुवेदेति दभ्रमेवापि नूनं त्वं वेत्थ ब्रह्मणो रूपम् यदस्य देवेषु अथ नु मीमांस्यमेव ते मन्ये विदितम्। यदि सुवेद इति मन्यसे अपि अस्य ब्रह्मणः यद्रूपं तत् त्वं नूनं दभ्रम एव वेत्थ। फुल स्टॉप। अस्य देवेषु यद्रूपं तद् अपि त्वं दभ्रम एव वेत्थ। फुल स्टॉप। अथ नु ते ब्रह्म मीमांस्यम् एव। फुल स्टॉप। विदितं मन्ये। फुल स्टॉप। It is the Anvaya. So the Guru said, if you think you have understood Brahman very well, you might have understood only a finite form of Brahman. Meaning, you might have understood only the Sopadhika Rupa of the Brahman. You may not have understood the Nirupadhika Rupa of the Brahman. Yadasya Deveshu Athanu. Yadasya Deveshu. Even in the Devatas, the form of the Brahman, Dabhram Eva, it is also limited, finite, meaning even the Devatas are finite, Sopadhika. You may have understood a particular Devata as Brahman. So many Devatas are there. You might have understood a particular Devata as Brahman. The Guru does not say it is not Brahman. The Guru does not say the Devata is not Brahman. The Devata is Brahman. Even the human beings are Brahman. Even the animals are Brahman. In reality, everything is Brahman. There is nothing other than Brahman. Yet, the Devatas are Sopadhika Brahman. They are Brahman with Upadhi, confined to a given Upadhi. You can worship the Devatas as the Brahman, as the Ishvara. as the Paramatma, but the Devata is sopadhika, confined to an upadhi. If you have understood a particular Devata as Brahman, you have not understood Brahman properly. Your understanding is limited. Your understanding has stopped at some level. It is not complete. Therefore, the Guru says, Athanu mimamsyameva te Brahma. Therefore, you have to inquire once again regarding the Brahman. Once again, mimamsa is required. Mimamsa. The inquiry is called mimamsa. In fact, the word mimamsa is understood as pujita vicharaha. Mimamsa means pujita vicharaha, a reverential inquiry. An inquiry with the reverence is called mimamsa. The inquiry is based on the Shastra, the Shruti, the Vedanta Shastra. When we do the inquiry, we revere the Vedanta Shastra. We don't say, I will not take help of Vedanta Shastra. I will do the inquiry directly on my own because I am intelligent. I am very intelligent. Therefore, I don't need a help of Vedanta Shastra. I don't need the help of the Guru. I can do the inquiry on my own. If somebody does inquiry with this attitude, he is not going to arrive at the truth. Because one cannot arrive at the Brahman with one's intellectual speculations. With intellectual speculation, you can become a philosopher. You might as well be recognized as a renowned philosopher in the world. Yet, you will miss the truth. If somebody tries to arrive at the truth only with the intellectual speculation, he is not going to arrive at it. The Shastra says, Naisha tarkena matirapaneya. One cannot arrive at the truth with the reasoning alone. One cannot arrive at the truth with the intellectual speculations alone. Instead, we need the help of the Shastra, the Vedanta Shastra, because Vedanta is the only pramana, only means of knowledge to understand the ultimate truth. Therefore, one should have reverence towards Vedanta, towards the Shastra. One should have Shraddha in the Shastra. Shraddha means trust. The Vedanta Shastra speaks the truth. One should have this trust. Only when one will try to understand what the Shastra says. If there is no Shraddha, one will not take the Shastra seriously. For example, there is a drunkard on the street and he blabbers something. The drunkard on the street is blabbering. Will you pay attention to his words? Let me try to understand what he is trying to say. You sit near him, pay full attention to what he says, make note of his words. Will you ever do that? You will never do so. Because you know that his words are not valid sources of knowledge. What he says may not be true. And not only it is not true, it is not going to be of any help to you. Therefore, you do not pay attention to his words. You do not commit to listen to him and understand him. That means you do not have Shraddha in his words. You are not trusting his words. You are not revering his words. But meanwhile, when this Swami is speaking, you are listening attentively, fully devoted, fully focused, fully committed. Why? Because you know that the Swami is speaking the Shastra. And the Shastra is true. It is a valid source of knowledge, a pramana. And the teaching of the Shastra is going to be beneficial to me. It will help me. You know this very well. You have this attitude. It is called Shraddha. One cannot get jnana without Shraddha, without a trust in the Shastra as well as in the Guru who teaches the Shastra. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. To get jnana, one should have Shraddha. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparas sanyatendriyaha. In addition to Shraddha, one should be tatparaha. One should be committed to the pursuit of knowledge. The Atma Jnana should be one's top priority. Therefore, one should dedicate one's time, one's resources to the pursuit of Atmajnana. And also Sanyatendriyaha. One should have restraint over the senses, mastery over the mind and the senses. Indriya Nigraha is also a very important discipline to attain the knowledge. Bhagavan says in chapter 4 of Gita, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparas sanyatendriyaha. So, the Guru says, Mimamsyam, Mimamsa. You have to do Mimamsa. Mimamsa means an inquiry with reverence, an inquiry with Shraddha and Bhakti, with the trust and devotion, and also commitment. You have to inquire into the Brahman. You have to reconsider your understanding and do inquiry once again. You have to listen to some more teaching. You have to reflect a little more on the teaching so that you will get better clarity. What you have understood now may not be correct. Often, when people listen to Vedanta, three things are possible. Number one, some people may not understand anything at all. They attended one session. After one session, they have not understood anything. It is called apratipatti. After the session, they say, I have not understood anything. In fact, some people might have tried the first session. After the first session, they may not have logged in. Why? I am not understanding. It is called apratipatti. Another is vipratipatti. Vipratipatti means viparita pratipatti. You have understood wrongly and you think you have understood. They have listened fully and they have understood wrongly and they think they have understood. It is also possible. Often, some people who attend the class come and tell me, Swamiji, you told this. I never told that. Sometimes it happens. What I said is totally different. And what they have understood is totally different. In fact, we have such a story in the Upanishad. In Chandogya Upanishad, Indra and Virochana, both of them wanted to know Brahman. Therefore, they approach a guru. The guru is Prajapati, both Indra and Virochana. Indra is the king of the Devatas, and Virochana is the king of the Asuras. Both of them approach Prajapati. Then Prajapati teaches them, you are Brahman. Then Virochana thought he understood, and he went back to his own kingdom. There he taught other Asuras also. The Prajapati taught, you are Brahman. That means your body is Brahman. Therefore, take care of your body very well. Nourish your body very well. That is the story of Virochana. It is called Vipratipatti. He has understood wrongly, and he thinks he has understood. And then he became a teacher also. After one class, he became a teacher. He started teaching Vedanta. You are the body. Whereas Indra did not understand. He said, I am not understanding. You are Brahman. Then he stayed back in the Gurukula. And then after many classes, after a lot of reflection, Indra understood properly. That is the story. Likewise, in this teaching, often there is a chance of wrong understanding. So it is second possibility. I was talking about three possibilities. So one is apratipatti, not understanding at all. Another is vipratipatti. You have understood something and it is wrong, and you think you have understood correctly. It is the most difficult one, vipratipatti. And the third one is anishchita pratipatti, an understanding with the doubt. You are not clear, you are not certain what it really is. You have doubts. It is anishchita pratipatti. These three possibilities are there. So somebody says, I have not understood at all. Somebody has understood wrongly and then he says, I have understood. And somebody says, I have doubts. For all these three, some more effort is needed. Now, in the case of Shishya, the Guru fears that the Shishya may not have understood correctly. Even when the Shishya has shaken his head, yes, yes, I have understood. Therefore, te mimamsyam eva. You have to inquire once again. Then the Shishya says, Manye viditam. I know that I have understood. Viditam. Brahman is understood. Iti manye. I know. I know that I have understood. The Shishya is saying with the confidence. With the confidence, the Shishya says, I know I have understood. The Shishya himself knows that his understanding is clear. And now the Shishya has to show his Guru that his understanding is clear. Therefore, the Shishya repeats the teaching in his own way. The Shishya explains the teaching in his own way, in his own language. Second mantra. Naham manye suvedeti, no na vedeti veda cha, yonas tadveda tadveda, no na vedeti veda cha. The Shishya says, Aham suveda iti namanye. This is a Shishya Uvacha. Even in the previous mantra, mantra 1, Manye Viditam, that part was Shishya Uvacha. It was the words of the Shishya. And this is also Shishya Uvacha. Aham Suveda iti namanye. I do not understand that I have understood Brahman well. Suveda. Suveda means understanding Brahman as an object, understanding Brahman as a limited being with the attributes. It is the meaning of Suveda. Aham Suveda iti namanye. I do not think I have understood Brahman as an object with the attributes as different from me. No na vedet. And also, I do not understand Brahman as something not known, as something not evident. Na Veda. I do not understand Brahman. It is also not correct. Veda cha. I have understood Brahman, but not as an object. It is implied. Veda cha means I have understood Brahman, but not Suveda. I have understood Brahman, but not Suveda. I have not understood Brahman as an object. Yonas tadveda tadveda. Now, from this slide, Yonas tadveda tadveda, we can understand that the Shishya who is speaking is not alone. There are a few Shishyas sitting in front of the Guru. There are a few classmates, and one of them is saying, one of them who has understood is speaking. Naha, among us, Yaha Tadveda, one who understands this, one who understands that, means one who understands my word, Tadveda, he has understood the Brahman. Among us means among the Shishyas. Naha, Naha means Asmakam Madhye, among us. Yaha Tadveda, one who has understood that, means one who has understood my word, my statement, Tadveda, he has understood the Brahman. What is his word? What is the word of this Shishya? What is the statement of this Shishya? No na vedeti vedacha. Aham na veda iti na. It is not that I have not understood. Vedacha. I have understood. But na suveda. We have to add na suveda. I have not understood it as an object. I have not understood it as something with attributes. Yet I have understood the Brahman. If anybody understands this statement of mine, he also has understood the Brahman properly. The Shishya is saying, I have understood properly. Not only I have understood Brahman properly, among us the students, if anybody understands my words, if anybody shows concurrence with my words, agrees with my words, then also he has understood the Brahman properly. He also has understood the Brahman properly. So with this, the Shishya has shown his clarity. I have understood, but not as an object. That means I have understood the Brahman as my own Swarupa, my own Atma, my own true nature. So thus Shishya answered Guru's testing, and then the Guru was convinced that the Shishya has understood. Now, according to the Bhashya, the following mantra is outside the fold of the conversation between Guru and Shishya. The Shruti has paused the conversation between Guru and Shishya for now. And the Shruti is speaking independently, not through Guru and Shishya. The following mantra, the Shruti itself explains the statement of the Shishya. Naham manye suvedeti no na vedeti vedacha. This statement of the Shishya is explained by the Shruti, by the Upanishad. Mantra 3. Yasya matam tasya matam matam yasya na vedasaha avijñatam vijanatam vijñatam avijanatam yasya amatam tasya matam. Yasya, the first yasya refers to a Brahmajnani. Yasya amatam, for a Brahmajnani, the Brahman is amatam. Amatam means it is not an object of knowledge. It cannot be known as an object. For who the Brahman is not an object of knowledge, tasya matam, he has understood the Brahman properly. So, matam means samyak jnatam. He has understood the Brahman properly. Yasya amatam tasya matam. For the one to whom the Brahman is not an object, the one who understands Brahman is not an object, has understood Brahman properly. For him, Brahman is not an object. Therefore, he does not seek to visualize Brahman. He does not seek to experience Brahman at some stage. Often people say, I want to experience Brahman. At least I should have a glimpse of the Brahman. In fact, a Vedanta student who has studied Vedanta for many years in Kashi, etc., he was telling me once, at least I should have a glimpse of Brahman. When Brahman is not an object, how can you have a glimpse? So Brahman is never an object. Therefore, one can never seek to experience Brahman at some point of time. If you experience something, it is not Brahman. Meanwhile, it need not be experienced because it is your own Swarupa. As your own Swarupa, as your own nature, as the consciousness, it is always evident. In all the three states, in Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Jagrat means waking. Swapna, dream, Sushupti, deep sleep. In all the three states, it is very much evident. One who has understood this, tasya matam, he has understood properly. Matam means jnatam, samyak jnatam. He has understood properly. Matam yasya na vedasaha. Yasya matam, for the one to who Brahman is matam. Here matam means known as an object. One who thinks Brahman is known as an object. I have experienced Brahman in Samadhi. If somebody says, I have experienced Brahman in Samadhi, and if I go to Samadhi once again, I will experience Brahman again. Now I am not experiencing Brahman. If somebody says this, na vedasaha, he has not understood properly. His understanding is not correct, because avijñātam vijānatam. Avijñātam vijānatam. Vijānatam means those who know the truth, the Brahmajnanis, the people who have clarity regarding the truth. For them, Brahman is avijñātam. Brahman is not an object of knowledge. Brahman is not an object of experience. Brahman is not an object of visualization. Whereas Vijñātam Avijānatam, Avijānatam, the people who do not know the truth, the people who do not have clarity regarding the truth, for them, Brahman is Vijñātam. They think Brahman is an object. It is an object of our knowledge. It is an object that we can experience. Thus, the Shruti distinguishes the misconception and the proper understanding. The clear understanding has to be distinguished from misconceptions. The Shruti does not say everything is correct, everyone is correct. The Shastra does not say. Only one understanding can be correct. If anything is contrary to this understanding, it is not correct. The Shruti is clear. That is why it says, Vijñātam Avijānatam. Only the Ajñanis will say the Brahman can be experienced, etc. Therefore, anybody's view is not correct, and anybody's view need not be acknowledged as correct also. The Shastra does not acknowledge. Nowadays, some people are interested in reconciliation, samanvaya, reconciliation. They try to reconcile all schools of philosophy, all religions. Somehow they try to say everybody is correct. Shankaracharya is also correct. Some other Acharya who speaks diagonally opposite is also correct. They try to reconcile. But unfortunately, such reconciliation is not correct, not possible. You cannot say whether it is suppose there is a rope. Somebody says it is a rope. He sees clearly. His eyes are good enough to see clearly. Another person, a little older person, his eyes are not very good. Vision is not very good. He sees it as a snake. And another person, even he has some problem with his eyes. He sees it as a crack on the earth. So there are three views. Somebody says it is a snake. Somebody says it is a crack on the earth. And someone says it is a rope. There are three views. You cannot say all of them are correct. Suppose you come across that these three people, and they are all discussing among themselves. What is it? One person says it is a snake. Another person says it is a crack on the earth. Another says, no, it is neither snake nor crack on the earth. It is a rope. Now, if you come across these three people, what will you say if they ask you what is correct? One possibility is that you want to keep everybody happy. In order to keep everybody happy, you will say all of you are correct. It is appeasement. But if you speak the truth, you have to say one is correct and show how it is correct. Put the light on, make them touch the object and see. Let them see for themselves. Likewise, all views need not be correct. What is correct? What is the truth? The truth is the one that is revealed by the Pramana. The Vedanta Pramana. It reveals the truth unambiguously, without any vagueness, with absolute clarity. And it can be understood with the logics. It is supported with the logics. And not only it is supported by the logics, you can see the benefit of the knowledge also. As you understand the truth, you see the benefit of the knowledge for yourselves. Therefore, the Shastra does not try to please everybody. If you speak the truth, you cannot please everybody. The Shastra says there is a correct understanding. And if something is not in accordance with the correct understanding, we have to admit it as wrong. So, avijnatam vijanata, vijnatam avijanata. Let's continue in the next session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Pranam Swamiji.
Om Narayana.
धन्यवाद स्वामी जी.
Namaste,
Om.
Swamiji.
Hari Om Shanti.
Namaste,
Yeah.
Swamiji.
Yeah.